Welcome to the beautiful city of Athens, the gateway to the Tennessee Valley, a city rooted in deep community relationships and built on a rich tradition of small local business and the very best of the human spirit. As Athens embraces the future, the signs of progress are in full bloom. Join us as we discover the bright spots in this charming southern city that we call home. This is Hometown Heartbeat, Athens.
Whoop, whoop. What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker here with Hometown Heartbeat, episode 42?
Yeah, I believe so.
42.
Or 43.
Wow, hot dog, 43. I literally have been running around like a chicken with my head cut off all day long. Ran back in at like literally 5 minutes till 3 and was like, oh, hey, Connor, I didn't see you come in. And Connor had come in and he was like, are we doing a show today? And I was like, well, sure we are. So here we are. Tomorrow is really going to be the start of the week for us because we have a really special guest. We're excited about this. Dale Jackson will be joining us tomorrow from WVNN, the Dale Jackson Show. We are excited to have him on here. As you know, that will be an adventure. From start to finish, that will be an adventure. And so we are super excited to be a part of that. And then we have some really exciting news that will probably drop, if I had to guess, probably Wednesday. So you don't want to miss us on Wednesday, because on Wednesday we're gonna tell you something very important. I also had another great conversation today. But before I dive into that, Connor, is your camera up back?
Let's see.
Hey,
it is.
There he is.
Yes,
What's
it
going
is.
on,
Hello.
buddy? How are you?
Doing good. Good.
Are you living your best life, or
As good a life as I could ask for.
did you take your makeup test?
No, it's not until the 3rd of June.
Holy crap! Are you serious?
Yeah. It's 2
Obviously,
week delay.
obviously very important. Very important.
Yeah, it is. It just kind of stinks that I have to cram another. I have to wait 2 weeks for it to all kind of leave my mind and then re-cram and get it all back in there, you know.
Connor, for being honest, are you going to study?
Yeah. About the 24 hours leading up to the test is usually when I devote everything I have to studying. But before that, it's.
But do you need to?
Yes, it's a lot of material, and being that we covered the last half of it online, it's not like I have a great grasp of it. You know, if we had learned it in class, yeah, maybe that's whatever. And I have a really good grasp on that earlier stuff. But the later stuff that we did online, I'm having to really go over, you know, a second and third and fourth time to get down.
This just in, Connor, not a big fan of online learning, in case you were curious and or missed that episode. Connor pretty well dismantled the online learning platform. But Connor, have you seen in the news where they're talking about how they are actually moving to that as more of a permanent fixture in the education system moving forward? How do you feel about that?
Not great. Hopefully I'll be out of there before it really all sets in. But I don't think that it ever can be as effective as in-person learning, personally.
But just to be fair, for those of you that are out there watching, just to be completely fair, I want to take the lid off of this misconception for you. Connor is someone who actually genuinely cares about learning, and so had I been in his place when I was in high school, I'd be like, heck yeah, online learning is awesome. My grade can't go down. I'm all in. Connor is the consummate performer in school, and that honestly is one of the things we love about him here, and one of the things that contributes to his incredible upside potential as he moves out into the workforce and into the real world. So Connor, as usual, we are happy that you're here and happy that your online learning experience is almost over. What's going on in the world, buddy?
In the world, all right, you're asking for headlines?
I guess, because I don't have any freaking thing to talk about today. No one's commented. If you want to drop a comment, like, today's the day. If you want to get me to say something that you never thought I'd say in a million years, today's the day. Today's the day. I'm telling you, I'm your Huckleberry. Ask me your question. It can even be pointed. It can be whatever you want it to be. Just ask me your question. I'm your Huckleberry. Go ahead, Connor. Hit me with one.
While we're waiting on that, yeah, here we go. Here's one. University of South Carolina has canceled fall break and will end in-person classes early. So basically, what this is...
Wait. What?
They have canceled fall break at the University of South Carolina, and they will end in-person classes early in anticipation of a second wave. So around Thanksgiving, they are going to say we are making a full transition to online learning now, and we're also not taking that fall break. That's what I gathered from the article.
That may be the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire freaking life. Hey, I've got an idea. It's the flu season. Act like it. Next headline.
Next headline.
That's the dumbest thing. Are you serious? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Again, Connor, let me go back to what I said earlier and last week, actually. Where's the science? Somebody support a position on this stupid virus with a position outside of emotion or politics. And the moment that you do that effectively, I will then grant you my respect. But until that point, all you're doing is playing into a narrative of a group of people that hope to derive election results from fear. The end. Next. Told you it was going to be a good one.
Yeah. How about this? A Nigerian crime ring has siphoned millions of dollars from U.S. unemployment programs amid COVID-19.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Hey, what did I tell you earlier in the week? The most terrifying sentence in recorded human history. Hi, I'm the government. I'm here to help.
Yeah, it's...
Look. Good on the Nigerians. Good on them. If you can figure out a way, look. That's called commerce. Okay, that's called enterprising. That's called business. That's called entrepreneurship. Is it criminal? Abso-freaking-lutely. But did they figure out a way to outsmart the quote unquote smartest government in the world? They sure did.
That's true. It's almost like it's easier for them to get it to these Nigerian scammers.
Oh yeah, raise your hand if you don't have your stimulus check yet.
Exactly.
Next.
All right. How about this? Minnesota is suing a bar owner who plans to defy a stay-at-home order and reopen early. So as far as I can gather, I don't think that they have opened yet. They're just planning it, and Minnesota is already filing a suit against them.
And the Gestapo also wants your papers. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, where are we? You know what? I have constantly found myself wondering. Like, I'm a big history fan. I love history. I always have, always will. Maybe it's because baseball coaches taught history throughout my entire life. I don't know. What's Thad Prater? What does Chuck Smith teach history?
No, he teaches driver's ed.
But Thad taught history, right?
Yeah, he teaches government. Yeah.
So government, yeah, okay. So something about history to me has always been. I mean, I've always enjoyed it. One, but two, it's always been taught by some of my favorite people because they were my baseball coaches. And throughout my education, my formal education, I've always found myself curious as to how the Jewish people allowed, or not so much even the Jewish people, but the Germany allowed as the country themselves to be flirted with by and wooed over by the Nazi ideals in government. And if you look at those, there's a lot of that there was restriction of the press. There was the guns being taken away. There were the liberties and the freedoms. And you watch them just stand idly by while a government, a fast-talking, good, slick-moving, by the way, stimulus giving government is moving through their agenda, and you often ask yourself, like, why in the world, as a human being, as part of a country, why would you ever allow your country to walk down that path without speaking out, standing up, and doing something about the path of tyranny in your country? And then I lived in 2020, and I said, well, I now understand. We're a bunch of people that walk through life taking whatever everyone says, or anyone says for that matter, as an absolute fact. And the reality is we do very little to make anyone demonstrate any semblance of fact. There's no supporting arguments. There's no anything. It's just, this is how I feel, and this is and if I feel that way, then it must be true. I identify as a fill in the blank. Or I mean, guys, it's crazy. The fact that we have business owners in America being sued by their own state governments for wanting to open their business, that's disgusting. What's next? God, today's good. Mondays suck, Connor. Today is no exception. For those of you that are watching right now, probably my mom and my wife, they're probably like, oh yeah, we deal with this guy on a regular basis. We know this guy really well. It's not just Monday, but today is a special Monday. So, anyways, what do you got? What do you got over there, big guy? I walked in. I said, Connor, by the way, you're gonna have to carry today because I am not in the mood, and it has been a long day, and I've had a lot of time on the. I've spent 4 hours on the phone today, and I'm tired of it. So, if you want to show today, Connor, carry it. He said, I'm on it. So here we go. Next headline. Oh, I see sticky notes.
There we go. Colorado amends the coronavirus death count, says that fewer have died of COVID-19 than previously reported. Guess how that happened? It looks like, they were counting those who had tested positive for coronavirus but had died of other causes. It reduced their count from 1150 down to 878, that's a pretty big jump.
Oh my gosh, are you serious? Nobody expected that. You kidding me? They've been doing this all over the freaking country. Like, had a car wreck, congestive heart failure, bit by a shark, must have been coronavirus. Like, I mean, go look at for the love of all that's good and holy, the CDC had to adjust their numbers by 40,000. 40,000. I'd like to have that in my bank account. Like, it's unbelievable. You're absolutely. It's the fact of the matter is. Again, hear me say this, and I'm going to beat this horse. I'm just going to wear it out. I'm going to beat it. When this started, I was 100% on board with lockdowns. Now that I have information, now that I understand the truth, the science, and what's really going on, it's okay to say the lockdowns were never the right idea. It's okay. It's okay. Here's the stats in Alabama. You ready? The average age of those that died from COVID-19, 73. Okay? The average lifespan for for a white male or male in Alabama, 74. That would be 1 year less than the life expectancy average in the state of Alabama. But by God, it must have been the disease. They were within 12 months of their natural born life ending. But it must have been COVID-19. Do you hear the lunacy in that? Like, I hear myself talk, Connor, a lot of times, and you probably don't ever feel this way because you don't talk like I do, but I hear myself talk sometimes, and I'm like, man, am I one of those lunatic conspiracy theory guys? Like, am I that guy that can't even watch Discovery ID because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's somebody in my life that wants to do that to me? Like, you can't even watch a crime story because you're like, oh man, there was a guy I went to basic training with. There's no lie. Timothy was his name. I won't say his last name because he's on here, but Timothy thought for sure that the drill sergeants were out to get him. Went to the point of having a psychiatric breakdown over it. Like, Connor, I watched the guy wheeled out. Had a psychiatric breakdown. Wow. And he had convinced himself truly that the drill sergeants were out to kill him. That's what he thought. Well, look, basic training sucks. There's nothing about the Army that's fun until you get through basic. That being said, it was the most fun I ever had in my entire life. But every day when you get the heck beat out of you and you get stomped on, stepped on, peed on, pooped on, whatever, it's real easy to be like, these people must want to kill me. Because guess what? Their actions, they're not loving, right? So, I hear myself talk about this virus, and I get on Facebook and I listen to a bunch of idiots talk about how stupid us right people, you right-wing idiots, you right-wing conspiracy theorists. It's like, first of all, right-wing is not the right word. I'm a constitutional conservative Christian, period. So you want to talk about immigration, I'll embarrass you. And I won't line up with anybody on the right side, probably, because Jesus said very different. Jesus said take care of the orphan and the widow, right? But if you don't have the common sense to see what's going on right now, you probably don't deserve the liberty you've been afforded. What's next? Oh, that was like a mic drop moment. That was a mic drop type of a moment there.
I'm talking about to breathe after that. Dozens of churchgoers defy Illinois' coronavirus stay-at-home order.
Okay, Connor's just trying to get me wired up today. Connor knows the mood I'm in right now, and Connor's like, I can get some gold out of this guy today. Let's take on everything he holds dear. And look, that's his job, and he does a great job at it, and he always picks articles that are meaningful and real. And so, Illinois, get your crap together. okay? Because what you're doing is not legal. It's not right. You don't have the authority. And quite frankly, the only reason they've stayed at home thus far is out of kindness and willingness to yield to your lack of authority, but your voice. And so it's unfair that you would do anything outside of your job duty, your description, your whatever, your authority for sure. And that is without question outside of your authority. So stay in your lane, shut your hole and know your role, kind of a thing. Let's get one more, and we're going to get out of here early today because I got a buttload of stuff to do since I've been on the phone all day. But
this one's kind of fun right here.
Oh, no.
Jesus Christ was also misunderstood. That guy tells his investors he's the founder of SoftBank, who is defending his $13 billion annual loss. I wish that this was satire.
Connor, when I told you today that I wanted you to make me talk, I didn't say, let's go for aneurysm. So, for those of you that don't know who Masayoshi Son is, he is the founder of SoftBank. SoftBank would be the billion-plus-dollar, multi-billion-dollar fund that invested in Adam Neumann of WeWork and watched that thing crumble. And so, let's just put it this way: as a baseball player, he wouldn't have made the JV team on batting average over the past few years, and he's demonstrated an incredible lack of vision. Even the idiot that went after Herbalife, what's his name? The big gray-haired booger that shorts everybody. There is an incredible documentary about him on Netflix, by the way. Unbelievable. But even him, who by the way, took a multi-billion-dollar loss very publicly, turned around. He made what was it like? I thought it was like $30 billion or something like that during coronavirus by shorting oil. Because guess what? When you lock everybody in their house and they don't drive, guess what oil does? And it doesn't take a smart person to figure that out. Unfortunately, I didn't figure it out, and so it doesn't say much about me. But either way, Masayoshi Son is known for picking losers, and apparently feels like that makes he and Jesus brethren. There's a special place in hell for people that blaspheme the name of the Lord. That's all I have to say about that. Listen, guys, it is Monday, as you can tell. If you've listened to any part of this podcast, you can be like, well, golly, it's a Monday, because Zach is wired up, ramped up, ready to go, and wide open like a case knife. But at the end of the day, I do love you guys. I'm excited for tomorrow. I am excited for what we have to tell you this week. It's really, honestly, it's why we're going to be short today, is because we have a lot to do. We have a whole lot to do. To announce to you the handful of things that are happening, but also to fulfill those things. It's probably going to require us to take a break for a while just to get everything squared away. So just be prepared for that, or maybe reducing it to a couple days a week instead of 5, because, again, we have a tremendous weight of opportunity upon our shoulders right now. And so just bear with us through this, because it's going to be better. If you like this show, for the few thousand of you that are out there, and by the way, I make fun of how many people watch this and listen to this every day, but over the last 42 days, we've averaged over 7,500 20-minute plus listens a month. And so for those 7,500 of you that are out there that listen to this show on a regular basis, that listen to more than half of it, which is unbelievable. I don't know that I do that with the podcast I listen to. I just want to thank you, honestly, because what's happening this week is a byproduct of you believing in us or liking us or hating us, quite frankly. I think a lot of people listen to us because I'm an idiot, and that's okay with me. I'm happy to be your village idiot. But it's unbelievable to know where we're about to be. And so Robert Rigsby, this guy's a clown. Gotta be a clown, Robert. I enjoy the show. You should run for president. Robert, listen, you're about to get a whole lot more of me, buddy. You're going to get more of me than you can handle if everything works out this week. So stay tuned, Robert. Listen, I appreciate you. It's people like you that listen to this show on a regular basis that understand what conservative Christian values are all about and what the Constitution was written to protect. And that's people like you and like me. That's Americans. It doesn't matter their color, their race, their creed. It matters not who you are, what you look like, but that you are an American. And that's what I care about. I care about people as a whole because Jesus cared for people and I love Jesus. But at the end of the day, that's what guides my life, what guides my everything I do. In politics, I find those values correlating more towards the constitutional conservative, not the Republican. Don't hear me say Republican. You hear me say Republican, and you say Donald Trump, and I will slap you. I will slap the stupid off your face, because that's not what I'm saying, and that is stupid. But what I am saying is common sense has an opportunity to make a comeback in this country, and we're just trying to lead that charge. Listen, love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. In the meantime, don't miss us too much. Tomorrow, like I said, Dale Jackson will be on the show. That will be, if you think I'm fun, just wait till you see us tomorrow. Guys, we love you. We love you so much. Mwah, mwah. We'll talk to you guys later. See ya.